SEO. So today I'm going to show you how we can match knowledge graph with SEO to gain more organic traffic and also to gain recognition and authority on the web. So, okay, I'm Beatrice Gamba, head of agency at WordLift. Also, Bing knows who I am. The description is pretty accurate. The only thing that caught my eye was the WordLift.org source. I'm definitely not an athlete, even I wanted to be one as a kid, but this is totally inaccurate. And we call it an hallucination, and we will see how we can avoid that. So we are living in very weird times with so much AI-generated content, bad content being produced. The content online has more than doubled lately. So also my job as an SEO has changed as much as the job of online publisher has changed. So we must deal with the content tsunami of AI-written content. So this is my what has always been my job until now. I had to make sure that our clients reach the 9% of online content that has actual organic traffic from Google, and I was taking care of that with the different SEO strategies. But then, what about optimization for AI? How to be in the Bing search? I asked Bing. A couple of months ago, I took part to the SMX Munich, which is a big conference for SEO. And Fabrice Canel was there. Fabrice Canel is the principal product manager for Bing. So he gave us advices to us SEOs on how to still keep our jobs, basically. And the main advice was to create quality content, of course, with semantic markup. So these were the two main points. Then I went on asking, what is semantic markup? And I was not surprised to see WordLift there, cited as a source, because we do write good content on our blog, and we do enrich it with semantic markup. We are also, as we know, like in about 30 minutes, the Google I/O conference will take place. So Google is about to share how SERP will change and meet the most visual requirements. So this is one of the previews. This is called the Best of X panel. And we are there as WordLift for the artificial intelligence SEO tools. We are here mostly because we do have a knowledge graph. Knowledge graph helps us secure the value of digital content in the era of AI. Secure because it's with so much online content being produced, we must make sure that we are recognized as top leaders in our industry, in our niche. And Google Knowledge Graph helps us do just that. So this is how we do it at WordLift. We leverage knowledge graphs to generate and validate content at scale. We do that with our own knowledge graph environments and our APIs. We then rely on different large language models that then get applied to our clients' websites. Then this content will reach the AI ecosystem. We included there also the Bing search and the different search engines to expand and make sure that our customers reach a good level of authority and recognition online. So we are helping publishers and digital editors standing out in this fast-paced industry. So this is the graphic representation of a knowledge graph of one of our clients, which is called Deep Digital. They are one of the main local news publishers in Germany with more than 50 publishers' websites. And their knowledge graph is mainly composed of 9K entities, combining in 29K triples and divided in 4 types. But these entities are actually tags, because with WordLift technology, we semantically enriched the existing tags of all of the whole 50 publishers. We enrich them with semantic data. So we specified a type for each tag, and then we referenced with same as links to and from Wikidata and DBpedia, therefore enriching these tags with semantic information, ending up in millions of articles marked up at scale. So we scale tags as entities. So all the articles with a specific tag are connected to the knowledge graph and in relation with the conceptually nearest tag, generating linked mini graphs with smart features. So we also added the relation. So we did not only add the description and the same as and the reference to Wikidata and DBpedia, we also put them in relation. So for example, the Michael Jordan tag was, since Michael Jordan is affiliated with both Nike and Chicago Bulls, all the articles that are tagged with these 3 specific tags are now related. So you can see that we interlinked millions of articles. This worked. This is one of the many measurements that we carried out of 4K articles. So we can see that the lifted articles, meaning that they enriched, overperformed of more than 8%, whereas the articles that we left out and have similar characteristics lost traffic of more than 2%. So why did it work? It worked because we gave context to what previously hadn't any, because there were no semantic data at all before our operation. And we enriched the content by providing more information that were immediately available to search engines that immediately started picking up information from these news articles that we marked up. So we will see different use cases on how to take action on the changes acted by artificial intelligence in SEO, mostly by structuring data within content. So this is one of the first use cases. This is a place markup for this small village in Germany. So when adding the place markup, of course, this comes from the schema.org vocabulary. By adding the place markup to the local news that talk about this place, we can make sure that we are targeting the local queries. So when a user in this village wants to know something about what is going on there, then the search engines will know that the specific articles with this markup is talking about just that, and will solve the informational needs of this region and of the people that are there. So as Bill Slavsky said, a major SEO expert and mentor, using structuring data, we are presenting more precise information to search engines. We are using data in formats that they expect people to use the search for. So people is what matters here, because people can be held accountable. Accountability is very big right now with so much AI-generated content. We must make sure that actual people can be held accountable for what is being published, because doing so, we can make a difference right now. So we have started the era of person schema, which goes hand in hand with the concept of WAT. WAT is a framework developed by Google to assess what makes a content good. So we can assess the good quality of content by asserting what is included in the WAT framework, meaning that we have to prove to be expert, experienced, authoritative, and trustworthy in a certain industry. How can we do that? This is an example of how we do. This is the schema markup of my author page at the WordLift blog. And I've added the same as and URL link to everything. So you can see both internal and external link that are referring to everything that can tell Google that I'm an expert in the SEO industry. So in this way, Google will know that if I write an article about SEO, he can grab the information from my article, thus making me rank better on search engine, and thus making me have all these nice snippets on Microsoft Bing search. So the more Google recognizes the author name as an expert on the topic, the better the authority for their content online. Of course, we have to be authoritative for the industries that we are interested about without deranging, otherwise we sort of dilute our topical authority. So we are structuring the author's expertise within the author markup. There are other properties on schema that can help us proving that. This is just some that are very big right now for the aforementioned reasons. What I wanted to focus on is the reviewed by and how it can help us when we are actually publishing AI-generated content. So you may know the CNET case. CNET is this digital publisher that recently started quietly, as to quote them, publishing AI-written articles, but there was not direct information that they were doing so. So they started signing off their content by CNET money stuff, which is totally not clear. Also, this disclaimer is really not exhaustive. So what is a good way to tackle that? So if we are actually writing and publishing AI-generated content, we might want to place a direct paragraph before the article, assessing that we are publishing content that has been written by OpenAI. For example, Men's Fitness is doing that. Or even better, what Healthline is doing, they're telling that the content has been written by the AI, but they tell the actual name of the people who have edited, medically reviewed, and copy edited the content. And they are also giving back the value to these people because they are making them authorities in these topics. So what we're doing here is exceeding the search engine's expectations in terms of information provided. And we can do that also, for example, with the organization. So we must not only be a person, we can also be an organization to gain WAT recognition. So for example, the news media organization markup, what is specific here that can provide supplementary background information is the founder and address property, because we are telling to search engines that there are physical people, physical addresses that can assert that we are, a living and existing company that is publishing news. Also, one other way to prove to Google that what we are publishing is real is to be consistent. When we are adding to our structured data the date published and date modified properties, we always have to put the correct time zone in the structured data of an article. This also helps more than you may think. Sorry. Okay. So is this for Google only? The answer is no. It's not only for Google, it's actually for us as a community of digital publishers and users, because by producing good content, we are contributing to a better and safer AI, because we are spreading good information that then is later retrieved by those AI ecosystem tools such as Microsoft Bing and Bard and so on. So we are producing content that can be retrieved and proposed to users that is actually real and good. And even if not written by actual people, at least it has been reviewed and edited by real people. So we are also providing more value to editorial teams. Editorial teams are the ones that can help us building consistency, especially with structured data. So for example, one way to do that is to do some content update strategies that can help us boost our organic traffic. They can make sure that we are topical authorities on the topics that are of interest for us. And it makes sure that we are producing content that then is a reliable source that can be used by AI ecosystems. So this is how we do it at WordLift. We carry out an analysis, then we validate and publish AI generated content that is then monitored. So what we do usually is to add the FAQ page markup to existing articles. This is the example of a schema markup for one of our clients that is called medicalrecords.com. So this is important because we are in your money, your life context. So these are all the fields that can help us structuring WAT and making us leaders in this specific topic and industry. So, of course, in order to do that, as an agency at WordLift, we are an agency, we do have clients. So we do have to assess our value. So one way on which we do that is by calculating ROI that is different for every other client. But this is an example of Enel. They are one of the main energy provider in Italy. This is a work of articles plus FAQ page markup that we did for their corporate website that usually has very low traffic. But in structuring information for them resulted in 6 months plus more than 100 clicks, and we made them save monthly 2.5K of euros on their paid advertisement campaigns. To recap, why should publishers and online content producer publish data and publish their knowledge graph? Because it's a scalable technology that has a valuable ROI. It can lead to better rankings on Google. It can make sure that our content is optimized for artificial intelligence. It proves genuinity of our content, and it also proves our hands-on experience on the topics that we are mostly focused on. So that would be it. Let's keep the conversation going. We have 2 minutes for questions, but you can reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn, and here is the link to my keynote that we just saw.
Question.
Yep.
So when we have the AI-generated content, how do you recommend one indicate who the author is of that in structured data?
In the article markup provided by Schema, there is the author field, the author property, and it has some sub-properties. So we usually indicate the name, and then we reference all the social profiles, for example, that assert that this author is a real person and has previously written something about that specific topic of the article.
But if it were AI-generated content that we're publishing,
then we would write by, WordLift stuff, and then we would add the field, like one of the properties that I showed before, that are reviewed by, usually it's reviewed by. But then we are still working also with Andrea, it's our CEO. We are working towards some models on which we can actually tell more directly to Google that the content is generated by AI. We are developing some other ways.
I wish we could do more on schema to kind of bring this forward, and so I envision an extension of the vocabulary to let publisher clearly state, okay, this snippet is AI generated. At the moment, we're kind of limited by just saying, okay, this has been humanly reviewed or not.
right.
I mean, Google can recognize the effort at least also with the little paragraph on top, and when structuring the information in the with schema, at least telling that it's been humanly edited. I think we are still, in a very preliminary phase.
Yeah, we've been discussing also with the host on options on, what we can do to
on one side, tell, AI providers that maybe we don't want the content to be used for training a model.
Yeah,
Because that's another issue, on
Right.
publishing content, you wanna, yes, on one side, you want to make sure that the reader understand if it's AI generated or not, but also on the other side, you might decide that I don't wanna give my content to an AI company that doesn't provide me enough clarity on how the model will be used, who's gonna monetize it. And so I think the two aspects have to go together. There are a few initiatives I've spoken also with the IPTC. They also have, their own initiative on, how we can add more markup. There is, I really want to open a chapter on schema. I haven't done that yet. Yoast is less convinced that there is room there for doing something like that because Google will not consider it. But I still think that we need more granularity. But
On the contrary, we are also working with some of our clients to assess that they are not using AI-generated content. So we are working with them to structure this information that, users and Google can be sure that that content is 100% humanly generated, because this is also going to be another line of discussion, how we can give more value to the actual companies that are not using artificial intelligence.
How often do you update your podcast? And how big is it?
The knowledge graph that I showed from IPEN, we update it monthly, let's say, but because they are all the relations in there may change. For example, you may have, I don't know, Heidi Klum and Sial that are not together anymore, so there's no point in making them in adding the property knows for the person schema type. So it really depends. But other than that, our own knowledge graph at WordLift, we update it like as much as we notice that something is not updated anymore. I mean, there's not really a procedure.
it's interesting because we can see that, for example, in this case that she presented, we work with tags, and so every month we try to feed the system with new tags that are relevant for the topics. When we didn't do it for technical problems, then we could see that the traffic went down on the group that we were measuring. So it's quite clear that it has to be fresh.
Yeah, the model becomes old very fast, right?
Yeah. Because there are simple relations, so Google can immediately realize that when we are providing like outdated information, your traffic will just drop.
I have a question from like a SEO search engine ranking point of view. So most of the conversation around schema that comes from Google, kind of like top down, it revolves around their rich results features. So like special features in the search results, boxes, text extract, stuff like that. In my experience, schema optimization has often helped for when you are already on the first page, then you can better qualify for one of these rich results. But one thing that Google in general is not very transparent on, or at least somewhat opaque, is what they use schema for. So sometimes I hear statements to the effect of it can help to understand something or make sense of something, but how that translates to rankings, especially for like non-rich result features, is something that's kind of unclear to me. And so I would want to know if adding more structured data and like better structured data could help get a page not just from position 5, it could help get like a web page not just from position 5 on page 1 up to like a featured snippet, but from page 3 to page 1.
Yeah, we saw that like in the last graph where I showed the ROI value for that specific case, they did not have any markup at all. So when going from 0 to, let's say, 50%, because we immediately started seeing results there. It takes as far as, in 1 month, pages that were like relegated to second or third SERP page were immediately dropping up at 1 and immediately showing rich results, especially for question and answers. Other than that, when we are doing content update, which was my the last section of my presentation, when doing content update, then we always go to the Google Search Console, and we must make sure that we advise Google that the content on that page has been updated. So you ask the reindexing of that page, and then we usually track that, and it also takes up to 2 or 3 weeks for that content to rank better. This is how we usually work. We got a lot of rich snippets by structuring the data. This is one of our main sell points, actually.
Thank you. I would add that my organization, we're spending time now kind of adding more like multi-author fields. So we don't have like an AI thread, but we're adding more like multi-authoring fields that are exposed like on the web page. And we're also making sure that we have that represented in schema as authors and reviewed authors, like trying to, as much as we can, indicate who else is involved, like expert contributors, and also using same as properties to make sure that there's people are referenced elsewhere. So I think that's important, and I think it's really great that your tool offers that in such like a comprehensive way.
Yeah, also one point that I may not have stressed enough, but it was just written, is that all the information that we are structuring inside as metadata in the metadata level of a web page also have to be shown on the front end. Otherwise, Google won't properly recognize our efforts.
And sometimes I think for ads also, it can be a problem when ads relies on schema and it's inconsistent with what's on the web page. It can be bad for your campaigns.
Yeah, for like cannibalization. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I guess we have also run out of time, but